Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. You're welcome to Pleasant Creeks, where we share ideas, where we talk about a lot of stuff basically, um, especially as it pertains to Africa, but not only that, as it pertains to the world because every one of us, we're all members of the global community and we're allowed to make input to whatever is going on. If this is the first time you're coming to this channel, Pleasant Creeks, please subscribe, hit the button, um, turn up your notifications so that when a new video comes up, you'll be the first to know. And of course, like the video if you like it. Go to the comment section and also drop a comment or two, and let's get talking. Apologies for my previous video. I think a section in there, the music was actually kind of loud, so um, my voice was kind of lost. But going forward, I guess I won't be putting up any of the background music. Let's just have a frank talk, I would say. So my name is Abiola, and welcome you once again to Pleasant Creeks. Um, this channel, I hope in the coming weeks, days, I'll be able to put up more videos so you can watch and get your opinions. So today I'll be talking about Nigeria, and I'm Nigerian as well, so that would kind of give credence to this video to a large extent. So Nigeria is in West Africa. Nigeria is a country in West Africa. To the north, it's bordered by Niger, Chad, and to the west, it's bordered by Benin Republic, and then to the east, it's bordered by Cameroon and also a bit part of Chad. Um, Nigeria is an English-speaking country colonized by the British, and Nigeria had or got its independence from the British in 1960. Nigeria is surrounded by French speaking countries, so we speak English. And to the south of Nigeria is the Bight of Benin, which is, well, basically the Atlantic Ocean. And Nigeria is a country with a population of, depending on who you ask, between 150, 160 to 200 million people, mostly concentrated in urban areas. But our largest population centers are Lagos, Kano, maybe Abuja, Port Harcourt, like that. But it's a very big country. It's a big country. Oil was discovered in Nigeria in the Lubiri in present-day Bayelsa State in 1953, and since then till now, oil has continued to flow. Nigeria's had its own fair share of troubles, coups, counter coups, communal clashes. Before I go on, Nigeria has three major ethnic groups, which is the Yorubas in the west, the Hausa Fulani in the north, and then in the south you have the Igbos as the largest ethnic groups. But we have other people groups. You have the Ikweres in the south, you have the Ogonis, Ijos, you have the Ibanese, you have the Shakiris, and then in the north you have the Kaniris, and so on and so forth. It's a very diverse landscape. Moving from the south, where you have the mangrove swamp, you move on to higher lands in the north, and then up to where there's the desert encroachment in the northern parts of Nigeria. Nigeria's land is vastly arable. People are agrarian in nature, and yeah, it's also a place where you find very industrious youth, very enterprising youths, people who are vast in skills, science, engineering, medicine, information technology, whatever it is, arts and culture. We have a very thriving cultural scenery going on right now, music, comedy, and all that. But there has been a problem over the decades, I'd say, from 1960 till date. Every country who gained independence or whatever their problems were in the past, every country strive to improve on whatever was a problem in the past. Every country tried to surmount the problem and become much better. So educational systems become better. You can see in the early part of the 19th century, many Americans went to study in Germany, you know, to improve things in the US. Many also studied in the UK. Japanese people studied in the West, in America, you know, and then took the knowledge, improved upon it, and today they have some of the biggest brands you can ever talk of: Honda, Toyota, Nissan, Panasonic, Hitachi, and so on and so forth. You know, global brands. So every country tries to strive to make sure that they improve upon their economy, the situation, the lot of the people, of the citizenry generally. But in Nigeria, it's not quite been the case. It's not quite been the case. I'll say this: Nigerians are not a pushover, especially when it comes to oil exports. When it comes to oil and gas, we have vast proven reserves of oil and natural gas, vast fields. I know this. And there's basically no serious minded oil company in the world that's not represented in one form or the other in Nigeria. We're talking about Shell, Chevron, Total, Exxon, Mobil. I mean, even the oil servicing companies, Halliburton, Baker Hughes, and Schlumberger, you know, you name them, they all drill in Nigeria because of our proven reserves. One would expect that with all this, there should be wealth trickling down to the people down below. Not like crumbs, but real wealth. But this has not been the case. In fact, the educational system left by the colonial masters, if I'll use that word, the British, somehow is found to be far superior to what presently is in some way. Now, I'll explain what I mean. So, in the past, most of the schools were run by missionaries, like the primary schools, secondary schools, and all that. There was quality, there was discipline, there wasn't the high price of tuition, of school fees being paid by parents, and all that. But as time went on, many of these schools, government problems and all that, and over the years, these schools became death traps because they were not being maintained. People pulled their kids away from those schools. Teachers were not getting their salaries because government actually took those schools over from the missions. So it was really hard. Now, going to the universities, we had not so many universities way back, like in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. But our universities were top class universities, where students only bothered about going to school to read, study, and come back. And when you're done with school, there's job prospects, like very high chance of jobs, in manufacturing, in oil and gas, in agriculture, in the government services, in the military, whatever, in foreign affairs, In those days, people felt traveling to live as a migrant in foreign countries was counterintuitive. People did not like it because, Nigeria was good. It was good. The naira rivaled the dollar, the pounds, But over the years, things began to deteriorate to the point that it was really terrible. And why? We had people in leadership positions who were tribalistic, nepotist. I mean, they showed high level of nepotism with disdain for their fellow countrymen. You put in square pegs in round holes, people who were not qualified to hold offices or to hold certain positions of authority. You put them there because they are from your own tribe. Nigeria is largely a tribalistic society. So over the years, even before I was born, my parents would tell you, oh, and this year things were really good. Things were, okay. We went to school, we had meal tickets, we didn't have to pay for this, school uniforms or books or textbooks. Our libraries were well stocked. We had foreign teachers. We had, equipment, microscopes. We had everything. But nowadays, for your child to have a very good education, you have to have millions of naira. You have to have millions of naira because the private schools are where you take your children to, and of course, they would milk you. Why am I saying all this? Nigerians have suffered a lot. A lot. Our medical systems, healthcare systems, there's in fact no basic healthcare. It's almost in ruins. Whereas those in public offices who were elected to help the people, to make laws, to make policies, to change policies, to implement policies, to make life better for the people, rather they would use the taxpayers' money to travel abroad for treatment, medical treatment. You go on YouTube, you go on GoFundMe, simple medical treatments or surgeries or, a few stuff that could be handled, that should be handled by our medical doctors, because of course our medical doctors are well trained. I mean, Nigeria educational system, despite the rot, people still strive for the best. And they come out as the best. Just the fact that they don't have the right equipment to do their work sometimes. So these politicians would travel abroad, go to London, Germany, the US, wherever, to do a simple medical check at huge costs, further degrading the naira. That's just one aspect. Now we talk about infrastructure. A governor, a local government chairman, even the presidency, they build, commission a road, a 1 kilometer road, and they make so much fanfare, like it's their money, they're doing us a favor. This ought not to be. You are accountable to the people who elected you. Even if a section of the country doesn't elect you or did not elect you in mass, it doesn't mean that you are a president or a governor of the people. And we practice democracy, which is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Do you understand that? So, in other words, there is rampant corruption. Rampant corruption. I can't begin to call figures. But I mean, there's some countries in the West that if some aspects or parts of the kind of corruption happening in Nigeria or has happened in Nigeria happen to them, then some of these countries will cease to exist. But that is not to say that we should continue maintaining status quo. No. Things have got to change. Things have got to change. And the funny thing is, the people in Nigeria, I largely do not know their power. An election year is coming next year, 2023. It's time people began to prepare themselves to elect the rightful candidates from top to bottom or bottom to top, wherever. in the houses of assembly, in the Senate, the House of Representatives, the president, the governors, the local government chairman, head of parastatal, whatever. We cannot continue in this state. The amount of people leaving the country in the name of migration, seeking freedoms, seeking economic justice, seeking better life for themselves and the children is just so much. Nigeria has a very large, healthy diaspora community. Many are staying put wherever they are, not because they don't want to contribute to whatever is happening back home positively, but because when you try, the system also frustrates you. So, people back home who have the right to vote, because people in diaspora cannot vote. There's no law that allows diasporan votes. But you back home need to help elect the right people who would see the contributions of the Nigerian diaspora community and then make them willing to come back to contribute to their motherland. Very, very crucial. I always say this to my friends, and I believe it's true strongly. Until Nigeria rises to its potential, to its place, Africa as a continent will remain down. The black man will remain down. The black man will not take his rightful place, a place of pride. I hope you understand. So, in this 2023 coming electioneering year, I have my preferred person and I wish I could vote for that person, but I'm talking to you wherever you are. It's of utmost importance that you see this, that your life depends on it, that you choose the right person, the right candidate. Look through their antecedents, what they've done in the past. Don't say this person is too young to perform. Neither should you say, oh, this person is too is young, so I'm going to choose him just because of age. Look at his or her antecedents. So it's not a gender-based thing. You can elect a man for president, a woman for president, or whatever position. It doesn't matter. Look at their antecedents and also the political parties. The big parties right now are not serious. They have wrecked this country since the return of democracy in 1999 to date, that a country of almost 200 million people do not boast over 10,000 megawatts of electricity. How does a country grow? Where locomotive trains is now a big deal? My God. We need to move. I keep telling people, and indeed my friends, that the world has moved from the three basic needs of man, food, clothing, and shelter, to now adding communication and transportation. And many countries are doing it well. Nothing stops Nigeria from doing it well, perfectly well. We have the wherewithal, we have the resources, we have millions of professors in our educational institutions. We have PhD holders, we have BSc holders, we have technical people, we have investors. Do not frustrate investors. Okay? Why would a country with I'm talking about billions of barrels of crude have not the capacity to refine what it needs, but rather would export that crude and import petrol, kerosene, diesel, or whatever, natural gas, or whatever it is? It's high time we changed. Nigeria uses Japanese cars, Toyotas, Hondas, and all that in large numbers. Benz is also coming up on stream as one of the most popular cars in Nigeria right now, but we don't have an assembly, as little as an assembly plant. I remember as a small boy, I lived in Port Harcourt. When I was still going, I went to the Air Force Secondary School in Port Harcourt in Nigeria. That's in southern Nigeria. I remember there's this area called the Transamadi Industrial Area. I remember Michelin tires manufactured in Nigeria. We still do have vast rubber plantation in Sapele in Delta State of Nigeria. So if we would digress a little from oil and gas, the company folded up, packed up shop, and left. We had a big dredging company called Wilbros, an American company. I remember those days they used to come with their Ford trucks, Chevy trucks, the one with 2 tires at the back and all that. Sometime in the late 90s, early 2000s, they left. Millions of companies like that leave, thereby turning the country into a haven for unemployment. And then the youths turn to life of crime. Massive crime from the north to the south. And the government has not had the grip on solving this. I'm begging you, my people, wherever you are in the world, lend your voice, speak to people back home, let them make the right choice. It's very important. Make 2023 like your life depends on it. Like without it, you will die. Because it's almost like you're gonna die anyways. A country in 2020 that became the poverty capital of the world by reason of the amount of poor people. We're not even up to a quarter of the population of India or China. We have vast arable lands. We have rain. We have sunshine. We're in the tropics. We have oil palm in large quantity. In the north, rice is produced. But we are one of the world's largest importer of rice. I'm not saying we shouldn't import or, have trade with other people. But we have what it takes to be self-sufficient. Okay? It's much more than just ranting or just talking or, I'm encouraging you as well, wherever you are, whoever you are, whoever you want to vote for. Make sure, because your vote counts. One vote counts. Don't think, I'm going to stay home because my vote is not going to count, or because they already know who's going to be, or it's only going to be between the 2 big players. No, you never know when your change will come. The man of the moment right now, Vladimir Zelensky, we keep referring, was a comedian a while ago in Peru. Was it a school teacher that was elected? Austria had in the past elected a very young man to be a chancellor. So, the world is evolving. It's growing. We as Nigerians are part of the global community. And as such, we cannot stop at our current level of mediocrity. Nigerians are great people. I believe you've heard about Emeagwali, the man who created the fastest computer then. You've heard about several Nigerians making giant strides in America, in the UK, in Canada, in Europe. And even in motherland, in Nigeria, Nigerians are making tremendous strides. We only need the government to be of right people. People who have vision. Leaders who are visionary, who can see and plan for the next 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, 30 years. Bring up policies that would impact the lives of people. Not steal money and go invest it for your family in one tax haven somewhere in the Caribbean or something. Okay? So as it is, status quo is being maintained with massive poverty, massive underemployment, massive right now the academic staff union of universities are on strike. The other day, Saudi Arabia came to do like a job fair for medical doctors, and lots of medical doctors in Nigeria actually went there and they got employed on the spot. So there's a massive brain drain. And remember, you cannot migrate legally to a foreign country if you do not have certain qualities. You do not have the educational qualifications. You do not have the financial capacity, because migration is expensive. So at the end of the day, the West, in as much as they are making life better for migrants, and of course they are, because the African continent is kind of frustrating many young minds, at the end of the day, their migration is helping to make Africa remain stagnant. I hope you understand me and don't take me out of context. If you do not have money, you cannot migrate. If you don't have some level of educational or technical expertise, qualifications, you cannot migrate. Okay? So the poor guy on the streets hawking, selling, the taxi driver who has no education, or the poor subsistence farmer, or the barber who has not even a grade 6, they're going nowhere. They're going to keep suffering. So why would they not turn to a life of crime? Because they have to, the instinct to survive will kick in. And then they'll say, even if it's just crime, I need to survive. But that's not the way. So you need to, it's not complex. It's not rocket science. I hope you understand me. So as it is, please feel free, go to the comment section and drop a word or two, and let's get chatting. Let's talk. Let's, as they say, ginger ourselves. It's very important. It's very important. I remember way back, Adams Oshomole in Edo State under the APC, the All Progressives Congress. They broke the backs of the godfathers in Edo State. And he emerged governor without the help of godfathers. But today, it's back to status quo. If you're not nominated by a godfather, or supported by a godfather, or financed by a godfather, there's no way. There's no way. So politics is more like an investment. You invest ₦1 million, for instance, into somebody's ambition of becoming, say, a governor, for example. In return, you expect to get maybe 2 political appointees who would be coming from you. You expect to be named as a visitor to a university, or not a visitor, a pro-chancellor of a university. You have a quota of people that are to be admitted through you to that university. You have some people you want to be employed into a parastatal. You understand? So it doesn't matter if they're competent or not. And this is how mediocrity keeps transferring from generation to generation. A band of unserious people. It has to stop. It clearly needs to stop. Nigeria can rise from where it is right now to where it ought to be. Nigeria is a blessed country. But until it realizes that it's a sleeping giant and decides to wake up, nobody's going to wake it up for you. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm passionate about Nigeria. I'm disappointed. Personally, Nigeria hasn't benefited me to a large extent. Like, if I'd say educationally, or I paid my way through school. Like, my parents took care of me and my siblings. And it's the same for many millions of people. Okay? Healthcare, personally taken care of. Electricity, people contribute money to buy transformers when you have a utility company. They buy electric poles, cables. They pay for maintenance. They contribute money to fix roads and gutters. Then what is the job of government? Whom taxes are paid to? A lot needs to change. A lot needs to change. That's what I really, 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 really need to pass on to you today. A lot needs to change. And the change begins with me. It begins with you. Okay? It begins with me. It begins with you. Thank you very much. Again, this is Pleasant Creeks. And I'm Abiola, coming straight at you through this channel. So please subscribe, hit the like button, drop a comment, hit, of course, the notification bell. I'll see you next time. Take care.